Welcome to the channel. This is Coach Charles on Kick on Sports. Now let's talk the Premier League. Let's talk the Premier League. The big boys, the small boys, and the in-betweens. What is happening right now in the Premier League is just unprecedented. You know, Sunderland is proving everyone wrong. Sunderland is becoming one of those teams that you don't want to play when you're not ready to play them. That is what is happening. Because Chelsea could not see this coming. Chelsea did not see this coming. In fact, when they went to this game, they were sure they were going to win. But Premier League, this season is on fire, is on a different level. But what is Arsenal up to? What is Arsenal up to? Will they keep up the momentum? Will they be able to just see this particular league through? Because what they are doing right now, I remember one of my videos, I said that I tipped Arsenal to win this league. That is exactly what I did. I tipped Arsenal to win this league because I feel they are different. They have invested in the right places, they have bought the right players, and they have a coach that understands what he wants. He's been there 3 times looking for that particular cup. But finally, Arsenal look like a team that is about to win something. Will it be the Premier League? Will it be the Champions League? We are yet to see. But hey, this is Coach Charles on Kick on Sports. Consider subscribing to this channel. If you're new to the channel, that is what you should do. Click on the subscribe button. Anyway, Arsenal is top of the league. As we talk, Arsenal is top of the league. But the statistic that is giving most Arsenal players and fans and lovers hope is the loss and the goal difference, the goals scored and the goals conceded. Those metrics are giving Arsenal one of the strongest indication that this 2025-2026 Premier League may just be an Arsenal season. This may be an Arsenal season because these guys have conceded only 3 goals. They have conceded 3 goals the entire 9 games that have been played. They have only conceded 3 goals, you know, and those were losses. That was a loss at Liverpool, a draw at Man City. You know, those are the teams that have managed to breach that Arsenal defense. In fact, if you look at what Arsenal has been doing, this is crazy stuff. This is crazy stuff. Let me just show you what is happening. Now, the last time Arsenal lost was against Liverpool. That was the 1-0 loss against Liverpool away at Anfield. With that, they've only drawn one other game against Manchester City. That is the 1-1 draw with Man City. Everything else is a win for Arsenal. They beat Fulham 1-0. They beat West Ham 2-0. They beat Olympiacos 2-0. They beat Newcastle 2-1. That is the third goal that Arsenal have conceded. They beat Bilbao. They drew City. They beat Bilbao. They beat Nottingham. They lost to Liverpool. They beat Leeds and Manchester United in their very first game. So that shows you a team that is ready to win something. But why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? Arsenal's system remains the same. The coach tends to just stick with the people that he knows, stick with the players that he knows. In fact, his starting 11 is almost a constant. It is almost a constant because he starts the same lineup, albeit just a little bit of tweaks here and there. But the standout performance is coming from that defense. These guys are not conceding anything. In fact, they're not even conceding shots on target. They have not conceded shots on target for the longest time. Gabriel and Saliba, these are super defenders. In fact, they understand each other so well. It's unbelievable. And then they also brought a guy called Mosquera. This Mosquera defender is also very, very good. When you bring him in, he plays way better. He's one of those defenders that I don't know how Arteta saw this, but this is a super defender that Arsenal bought. Zubimendi slotted in so well. Eze is like an X factor for Arsenal. So what Arteta has done this season, the signings is brought. This is an indication of a team that is going places, a team that is able to just do it and do it well this time round. Gyökeres is there, scoring in the Champions League, making defenders uncomfortable in the Premier League. Saka is back doing what Saka does best. Trossard. And then Martinelli, when he comes in, when he starts in the Champions League, in fact, he scores so well in the Champions League. So Arsenal basically are well stocked. Remember, they still have Jesus out there. They still have Havertz injured. They still have their captain Odegaard out there. So this Arsenal team may just run away with this particular Premier League. But they met a Crystal Palace that has been losing of late. Crystal Palace, I don't know what is happening. The last time they won a game was against Dynamo Kiev. That is their Conference League match. From then, they have not won anything. In fact, they have lost to Everton. They've drew with Bournemouth. They lost to AEK Larnaca. And then they lost to Arsenal. So it means that Europe is becoming more of a boon for Crystal Palace. It has made them weaker. It has made them, I think they have realized that this is basically what is happening is that the games are too many for them. They were not prepared for this particular Conference League or Europe. That is why they are struggling. The players look tired. They look like they are struggling for ideas. But what Arsenal is doing, that is what is going to win them this league. Now, what is happening to Chelsea? What is happening to Chelsea? Because Chelsea is one of those teams that really invested. They bought so many players, but the player I keep asking, why did they buy him? Gittens. That guy, what is he doing at Chelsea? He's not effective in any way. Going forward, defending, receiving the ball, attacking, his output is just zero. In fact, Garnacho scoring a goal proved something. But Gittens, I don't know why Chelsea rushed to buy this particular player. So Chelsea will struggle in this league if they're not careful, because the coach keep on chopping the team. Every other time is a different player coming in. Every other time the formation is different. The players who are starting, the players who are playing are totally different from whoever played the previous game. So you're asking yourself, you have so much resources, yet you don't know how to use them, because that is what Maresca is suffering from. They are ninth in the log with all that investment, over 400 million invested in Chelsea. That is just crazy stuff. That is crazy stuff. And you look at a team that is not comfortable. They're losing matches at the very tail end of games. At Manchester United, that is what happened. The game that they played against Sunderland, in fact, they scored first, and Sunderland still came and win. Now, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to Kick on Sports. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why Jamie Carragher is quiet. Why he's not saying anything. The elephant in the room, the fact that Liverpool, the champions of England, are struggling to beat teams. They are struggling. But I remember when the league started, these guys had issues, winning games early. They will score at the very tail end of games. They will always score at the 95th, 97th, 98th. The additional time in Liverpool games tends to be just exaggerated. But finally, Crystal Palace showed everyone how to beat Liverpool, and they have never been the same again. They have never been the same again. Manchester United went to Anfield, something they have not done in 9 years, and beat Liverpool at Anfield. So I keep saying, Slot current team is underperforming because the one that won the league, that was Jurgen Klopp's team. That was purely Jurgen Klopp, because he did not change much. He did not buy any new players. He just played the players who were there. So it means that the players he's brought, he's struggling to configure them to be able to play. Now Isak is injured. Other players are injured. They are struggling. Kakes is struggling in defense. In fact, he's the weakest link in that team. Every time Slot moves Zoboslai at defense, he denies Liverpool one of their most creative players, the player that brings the difference, the one who scored the goal against Arsenal to win Liverpool that match. So it is time Jamie Carragher mentioned this. Their defenders are struggling because someone is running out of time. Someone is running out of time. Van Dijk, it's like football is about to leave him, so it will be wise to leave football before it totally deserts him. That is exactly what Jamie Carragher said sometime back on one of the players in the Premier League, and it is high time we reminded him that his Liverpool defenders are also struggling, and they're struggling big time. Anyway, Manchester United, we are happy. We are happy. In fact, if you look at the standings, Manchester United are above Chelsea. They are above Liverpool. They are the same points with Manchester City. So, who cares what is going on everywhere else? You know, that is what we are saying. The Premier League is not anybody's PlayStation, because players are now becoming, the league is becoming very tough. Aston Villa is back, and they're doing good things. They're above Chelsea. Crystal Palace is 10th on the log. Brentford, the giant killers. This guy, when you go to the GTEC Stadium, you better be ready. You better be ready. But Wolves may just be relegated this time round. I hope West Ham comes back. I hope Nottingham gets their feet. Whatever is happening at Fulham, 4 losses in a row, that is unacceptable. But Aston Villa have gotten back their mojo. They've won the last 4 games out of 5. In fact, the 5th one was a draw. You know, Liverpool, 4 losses in a row, champions of England, losing 4 times in a row. Manchester United winning 3 games back to back. You know, that is just something to behold. Anyway, this is Coach Charles on Kick on Sports. That is how I feel this Premier League. As it is, Arsenal have a chance to win this league. And I remember mentioning in the very first videos that Arsenal may just win this league because they are doing everything right. 3 goals conceded, 16 goals scored. That is something to behold. Consider subscribing to Kick on Sports. Let's talk later.